All right, welcome to the Rocket Launcher podcast. This is episode 128. I am your host, Supreme King, and joined with me as always is my co-host, and his name is...
The guy Omezes.
I'm gonna be 100% transparent to the people out there. I literally tried to come on here and be like, let's not do this right now. And my co-host is like, no, we gotta be consistent. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. We gotta be consistent. And I ain't been consistent with my gaming day. This was actually my full day. I had a full day to actually game and just did not. I was just like really just not even wanting to move. I didn't even get up and leave to go get food or nothing. I had food sent to me, and I was just lounging around. And I do want to mention real quick before we get into the game, man, I got this Rubik's Cube in my hand, and I'm like really annoyed because this is a 7x7 or 7x7x7, I think. And I don't know how to solve it no more. And I'm kind of annoyed. I was looking at like a lot of them videos online of people playing with certain cubes and stuff, and I was like, I know I got one of these in here, and then I pulled this out, but I don't know how to solve it. I'm about to just put it away.
Yeah, do you still have that one that looks like a speed or like a portal?
Say it again.
Do you still have that one that looks like it's like a key to some portal? Like, where you still have the key to hell? Like, it's like the one.
What was that movie called? Hellraiser?
Yeah.
Maybe, because I think, don't you got a bunch of mine? Like, I think you might. Because I only have like a couple of them over here, and I was going to probably look at some of the new ones. I just wanted to mention before we get in the game, because I looked at some of these videos. I didn't know they got extra advanced with these. Like, a lot of mines were like almost 10 years ago. But they didn't got like way more advanced. Like some of them are being sold in these like suitcases and stuff and foam and stuff. They all fancy. They got like stuff going on in the core of it where it's like you can link it to your smartphone and it can help you or stuff like that if you stuck. I'm like, where was all this when I was playing them? But anyways, we can get into gaming. There is Power Rangers Rita's Rewind on the screen, and I think you had a topic revolving around this game. And so did you want to give us an update? What's going on with the game?
Yeah, so speaking of updates, they're going to be updating Rita's Rewind. So it's finally getting a physical release.
Yes.
And then the first update came out this week. But so part of the update, they're doing upgradable Power Rangers. So they're doing some skill points.
Interesting.
So you can adjust their strength, defense, and speed. So you can start making the characters act different. Right? So you can give like Kimberly a lot more speed while giving Zach like a lot more defense and Jason a lot more strength.
Okay.
They're also going to be doing like modifiers to change up like gravity or like make things move fast or things like that, like the different fun modifiers in there. They're also going to be doing this thing called a power blast, where if you start getting swarmed by enemies, for the price of a chunk of your health, you can do like a super blast that knocks them all away. And with like a properly timed hit, you'll be able to do a quicker like ground recovery system.
Okay.
And it looks like they're going to be editing like different like moves to make them play a little bit different. And then this spring, they're going to be putting in a new implementation for up to 6 players can play together across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Okay, so that sounds good. So they're making it a little bit more replayable. You know, make you want to go back and try it out. I do know with the physical release, the deluxe edition is the one that comes with like all the extra stuff that's going on, a steel book and a few different things like I believe it's a lenticular thing, something like that. It's a few things in there, and I think that's the one that's $49.99, and then the regular release is like $35.99. And so you can get that from a lot of major retailers, and you can pre-order it online right now, I believe. And so yeah, still a fun game. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm wondering if some modders might come in, but maybe we might not have to worry about the modders just yet. Maybe they might start adding some more stuff little by little if they see there's a audience for this game, and not just say, well, here it is, and then move on. But I would still like to see like some more suits all the way up to Zeo at least, maybe even further than that. If they do
really
it,
want to stick with just Mighty Morphin.
yeah.
At least give us the like the ninja suits and like maybe the Aquatar Rangers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like White Ranger Tommy. Maybe we're doing a different animation for Rocky, Aisha, and Adam as well, and Cat. Like
I feel like that's really doable too. It's like it's really, because it's not like you zooming in on their face and you got this extra detailed like Unreal Engine 5 thing. It's like even when they were in the juice box or the juice area, like you could still make out who is who just based on the overall character of the shell of the person. It reminds me of Fire Pro Wrestling in a way where it's like it's arcadey, but you knew exactly who everybody was from the creations. I think they can easily do that, especially with like ninja suits and stuff. I would definitely play it again if they did the ninja suits.
Characters. I want to see. There was a comic book where they needed help and like they just gave 2 power coins, one to Bulk and one to Skull, and like Bulk became like a purple ranger and Skull became an orange ranger. It was like the chicken and like a pig. I want to see them in there.
Hey,
Why not? And if you play as them, you can play the Bulk and Skull music.
sure. Now, I think I still want to say, I would like to see them just go ahead and also work on another game, like work on another thing for Power Rangers.
Like these 6-hour games, why not try and do one for each season?
Yeah, definitely.
Like a sum up story or like a villain comes back for everything. There's 30 seasons they can play off of. And I will sit there and buy all 30.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think I probably would too. They'll definitely throw it at you like a live service in a way, but I will probably. That might be the one where I would participate just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit.
You will catch me on this podcast being all anti live service, and then be right on being a hypocrite on these Power Rangers live.
But you know what? Like I don't. They didn't call the Dragon Ball Z games live service, but they definitely felt like it. Because it was definitely feeling like that. And I sat there and I bought all them characters for more than one DBZ game. And I have a feeling with the new series right now and Sparking Zero, like they're definitely gonna do the same thing. Oh, yeah. They're definitely gonna do it. I would
be surprised if they still update Xenoverse.
Yeah.
Xenoverse and Sparking Zero both get
at the same time. Yeah, because I mean, why leave money on the table if you can just get it? And Dragon Ball Z definitely gets away with it. Absolutely gets away with it. But anyways, funny enough, I was gonna skip. I was trying to skip, but I think because I'm not skipping, I can tell some of this news. I did try to throw some shade last week towards Nintendo with Pokemon in favor of Digimon. It's tongue-in-cheek humor, but this week or earlier this week, it was announced that I guess Pokémon Day is going to be February 22nd. I didn't know that was like a thing, or they just made that up right now. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of Pokemon Day.
Pokemon Day. So yeah, so that's like kind of right around the corner, because as of this recording, it's February 20th, and so when this goes out, you got like one day to prepare. But basically, it's going to be an indoor event at like select Best Buys, and you have to go to Best Buy, like search Google search probably Pokemon Day Best Buy event, and then when you click on the link, it's going to prompt you to select your state, and then when you select your state, it will prompt you to pick certain areas within the state, and then it will be at that Best Buy. So it's not going to be at every Best Buy. Some of you might not even live that close to one of the places, but it's supposed to be from noon to 4 p.m. And funny enough, all the stuff that's going on here, I didn't see anything say anything about anything being on sale. So just keep that in mind. But you might be able to go in there, find some new people to, befriend and be part of like a community and stuff. Because that doesn't happen anymore. But you can go in there and they should have plenty of stuff for you to buy as far as Pokemon cards and games. But I don't think anything's going to be on sale. I didn't see nothing that said it was going to be on sale. Now, maybe your specific Best Buy might have something, but I didn't see anything online. So just keep that in mind. But it will be an event around it. I wouldn't be surprised if you might see like Nintendo ambassadors there. So if you wanted to try to inquire about any type of opportunity, you never know, you should probably show up and at least figure out how you can do that. But yeah, Pokemon Day event at a Best Buy on the 22nd, and it's going to be from noon to 4 p.m. Have you gone any of these type of things before in the past?
Not for the store ones, but I did do a Pokemon Day at a park for Pokemon Go. They used to do like different events, but then for Pokemon Day they had a bunch of like, I forgot which Pokemon it was. Probably Eevee. Those like shinies everywhere. So like me and a couple friends went to a park and we just kind of like walk around and catching a bunch of shiny Eevees. So meets people, got a little exercise in while walking. But I haven't been to any of the ones for like the cards and stuff.
I remember going to a Toys R Us when I was in elementary school, and they was like being extra over it, but they had set up some tables for kids to like play the game, but like they was being so extra that I don't think I did it. I was like, can I just buy my cards and my other stuff and leave? And that was kind of what I did, because they were just like really trying to have it in like you gotta wait in line and lockdown mode and stuff, and like certain kids were just kind of playing real quick. And I was just like, all right, you kind of doing too much. And I was not into it. I was like, I just want to get my stuff so we can go. And that's exactly what happened. That was like a long time ago, like at a Toys R Us, where the card game was like hot at the time. I mean, it's still hot to certain people, but it was like hot overall. And that's the only thing I can remember. Other than that, it's just your simple, just collecting certain cards and stuff, maybe you trade with some kids at your school, but that was the closest thing. I do remember mentioning a long time ago about the Nintendo ambassador thing. I haven't really kept up with that, to be honest. I just sort of stopped looking. It's funny because I still have one of the links like bookmarked on my computer. But I will still say, if you really are looking for an opportunity, this would probably be your chance just to show up. If you're anywhere near one of these events, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys is there. They might be able to tell you, hey, this is how you get into the industry. If you really want to be in the industry, just as an ambassador, where you just host shows, host events, whatever, this might be your chance. So that would be a cool thing for anybody who is looking for that type of opportunity. That's a cool passion job to have, where you get paid to do video game events. Even if it's part-time, that's like pretty cool. Like if you had your regular job and then you still got paid to do that, that would be awesome. So I would say look into it. Now, the other thing that I want to mention regarding this, we're finding out that Nintendo's lawsuit towards Power World is not really in their favor right now. Apparently, 22 out of 23 patents was shut down, apparently. And so maybe there's like one particular thing. We don't know all the details, but majority of all their claims are not holding up in court
It,
against Power Up.
I was talking to a friend about this, because he thinks this is the funniest thing. All of the things they're trying to patent is like now. So it's like they're
Hmm.
trying to like patent things now and then retroactively sue. And it's like you can't do that. Like you can't patent it now because it's already in other stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it's
So
not
like
working.
they're trying to patent it out and say now that we have the patent, you can't use it. We already did. We're suing you. And it's like well you can't do that.
Yeah, it's not working out for them, but they're still trying. Power World is still available. And what's funny is Power World has not really like stopped. Like the player base may have moved on a little bit, but they're still adding to the game. They're still having like I think they just announced that DLC at not too long ago, something related to it, or I don't know what was going on with it. But I do plan
Oh
to
yeah.
try it eventually because once I get Game Pass back on, I let it lapse for a couple months just because I'm waiting for the big April stuff. But that'll be one of the games that I download and try. But it don't look like Nintendo is really taking them out of here. So it is what it is. We'll keep up with it later. But I do have now on the screen some Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign gameplay. And I think it's a good transition because I think you had some Call of Duty news that you wanted to talk about. So do you want to just go ahead? We can get into that real quick.
So we're still in crossover season, and one of the newer crossovers, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, crossing over to Call of Duty. I believe they have like a your free track, right? Of course, for your like your if you're just playing through it, you get foot soldiers and you can get a skateboard and some of this other stuff. If you play the premium track, you can unlock Master Splinter, and some other like designed guns. But if
Okay.
you want to play as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you have to pay $20 for each one.
For
So it
each
costs
turtle.
2,400 Call of Duty points or 19.99 for each turtle. You have to buy them separately. Also, if you get the premium pass, right? Um, if you want the event pass, that's an extra $10. So overall, if you want everything that the turtles have to offer, you got to pay $90.
That's kind of crazy. Because at the same time, you still only see like his arm or whatever. Like it's the other player that's gonna see the turtle, and I kind of feel like when you see a bright green or a medium green character running around, it almost makes you more of an easy target. Because I remember people were saying that about the Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj's character in the game has pink hair, and it's
So,
like
and
that
nothing else
stands
in the
out
game
when you're
is
shooting at somebody.
pink.
So I don't know, but I don't think I would pay something like that for that. I would hold out and just play the Ninja Turtle game. But for Call of Duty, I don't think that skin is really no. No. I don't know how much it is in Fortnite, but Fortnite skins ain't $20 each. I don't believe. I don't think I've ever heard that.
I don't think they've been $20. They've been like 10 to 15 though, because I remember they were selling
That's
these things for like
crazy.
$15 in the store, and some like coppers would stand in the store around Christmas, and his parents came in, would say, "Hey, don't buy this. The game's free. Like you don't need this for the game," because they knew their kids were just like, "Can I get this?" So they went to go buy it, and they were just like, "Nope, nope, the game's free. You don't need to buy it," just to like ruin the kid's day.
The joke is silly, man. The industry is making so much money while they're still doing things like laying off everybody, basically.
Yeah, Marvel
Um,
Rivals, right? They laid off the Seattle team, which was like seven, eight people. So the game's still functioning. It's mainly the Chinese team, but like their
mm,
Seattle office of people, they decided to fire them. So after making all the money, they're like, we don't need y'all no more.
I can mention real quick because it's not really a big topic for me, but it's starting to come out with like I think the dude's name is Shohei Yoshida. I don't know if I said it right, but one of the PlayStation guys that has just recently retired after 31 years. He was leaking out some tea, basically, of what was going on in PlayStation. And basically, it's what we all expected. Like certain people wasn't really, retiring and quitting. It was that's just the politically correct way to make it, for the public. But there were people basically getting pushed out the door. All of the studios was basically forced to do the live service games even when they didn't want to do it. And it's like, that's what we know. But I don't know, maybe the industry is going to have to do a little bit of a reset real quick. This might be part of the great reset, because maybe they were thinking about getting way too much money and they're not getting it and stuff and they got to reevaluate some things. But I feel like this generation overall has been probably one of the worst generations, period, because we're so fixated on money, and it cringes me when I hear about all these different things, like all these deals and all of these like courts and stuff. Everybody had to get involved with all these other like acquisitions and everything, but the main thing was just how much money a company is trying to make off of me, basically. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I want to pay more than what I was already paying. I don't want to all of a sudden start paying like more for a game that's not even complete and all that other stuff. And that's kind of what we're seeing now, is that the game prices is going up, but the game is not even complete anymore. And that's not really gonna fly with me. But yeah, we could probably move forward. We can move to the next topic. Tell me what's going on with Dead by Daylight.
Daylight has decided to actually, listen to their fan base, and they paused kind of their like super updates where we're going to do this challenge mode or release this person and things like that. And instead, they're going to be doing quality of life updates throughout the year. So they're breaking it down into phase 1, which is going to be taking place from April to June, and then phase 2 from July to December for the rest of the year. So they're going to be trying to fix things for like anti-slugging, or making a surrender option, or being able to just kind of like skip to the next game without like getting penalized for it if like things are going wrong in a game. Fixing some like spawn rules and things like that, and being able to like just make things a little bit easier to buy perks and stuff. But they're also in the second phase going to try and fix some of the anti-tunneling and camping. So they're going to try and fix it to where like you don't have like trolls kind of ruining the game in a way, which has been some of the complaints, and I guess they have ideas now for how to fix that. So that seems to be the route that they're going. So I'm excited for that.
Have they made any mention of them adding any more characters, any more crossovers, anything like that?
They'll be the last one they did was with Resident Evil again.
Okay.
They actually did an event where they started doing these modes where it was like 2 killers and 8 survivors instead of 1 killer and 4 survivors. And the last one they just did was the killers are specifically Wesker and Nemesis.
Okay.
They have survived both of them, which seems impossible because the way they play, I feel like, complement very well to where no one's going to survive. But they're pausing all the new killers and the newer stuff to try and do the fixes first. Hopefully those go well, and then they'll start bringing back new killers.
All right, speaking of Wesker and Nemesis, man, do you want to give us an update on your progress on Resident Evil 7?
Sure, it's still at the beginning because I ain't played it.
Why you ain't playing it, man?
Beat Uncharted 4 today.
You beat Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I will say the Uncharted series I can see why it got all the praise. It is ranked as like one of the best.
Did you play the what is it called? The
Lost Legacy?
Yeah.
No, not yet. So it turns out I had bought Uncharted 4, not the Uncharted like Thieves collection thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you play the PS5 upgrade version?
No, I played the PS4 version.
Okay.
So I had bought because I had bought that. You can't buy Lost Legacy standalone, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
have the upgrade option anymore for like $5 to $10. So my only option is to bust out another 20 and rebuy the game, and I don't want to pay 20 for effectively just the DLC.
Oh, they still not doing that little upgrade? You can't just slap the
I
disc in there?
I was looking, I cannot find anything that lets me just upgrade to the one because I already own four. It won't let me upgrade it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so my like the regular Thieves End that comes with like both costs like 30 or 40, but it's on sale for 20. I was like, I don't want to pay 20 for the DLC. Like, I'd rather pay like 5 or 10 for that part. So I'll play it eventually. I do plan on playing it. I want to complete the whole thing, and I heard it's not that bad. For the DLC, that it said
Mm-hmm.
it's like just a shorter experience that just had its own fun. So I do want to play that. I'll probably play it in like 2 years. I turns out I was looking at when I beat the other games. I beat Uncharted 1 in 2019. I beat Uncharted 2 in 2021. I beat Uncharted 3 in 2023, and then Uncharted 4 in 2025. So I'll get to Lost Legacy in
Hey, I
2020.
mean, it don't seem like the series is trying to do anything else unless they do movies.
Yeah,
So take your time. I guess I got plenty of games that I own physically that I have not beaten.
same.
And funny enough, maybe that can transition us because a lot of those games end up being free games on Epic Games after the fact. I was actually just looking at Epic Games' like library that I have. It almost looks like it's a Game Pass in itself because it's actually almost 400 games. Like I think by the time we get to the end of the winter, it will be officially like 400 games that I will have in the library on Epic Games. And I can tell you, I definitely only paid for like less than 10, possibly less than 5. So definitely for the people out there, go ahead and get yourself an Epic Games profile and just start claiming all these games because free is free, right? We like our free stuff. Funny enough, I actually got to speak with somebody. I'm gonna get more info from him later of somebody who has been on PC for the better part of like 18 years. He's still not even really that old. He's still relatively young, but it sounds like he started off on PC and is not moving from PC. And I had asked him, is the hate for Epic Games really that real coming from somebody who's like pro Steam this entire time? And he's like, yeah. And the main reasons is because I guess earlier on Epic Games was trying to do like a lot of anti-consumer stuff with certain games where they only wanted it on their platform and tried to block stuff from going to Steam. Technically they've done some stuff like that recently because I believe Alan Wake 2 is still not available through Steam, and there are a lot of people who refuse to play it because it's not available on Steam. And I just kind of find that to be very interesting because, when you look at the people who do console war things, it's like, well, you don't want to buy other hardware and you're being very, very like stern on that. But it's like, well, when you're on the computer, I'm just like, well, you talk about quite literally just logging into a whole nother app, but you already got the hardware. The hardware is going to be the same. Your hardware is going to play at your level the same way it was playing, on Steam. But they refuse to budge. They will not budge. Even when I was mentioning like, hey, they still got all these games and stuff, he was like, I can probably check out every now and then. But the way he was making it sound, he was just like, he don't even care. And I think that community is crazy. It's just for the long term PC community that they are really against it. But I just look at it like, you know what? It's just free games. I'm not worried about all that other stuff because I will still have my Steam, profile. Even with like well, not this game, but Indiana Jones, that was under Xbox's Game Pass launcher. So it's like that's a whole launcher in itself. And like to me, I don't think too much of it. I'm just playing wherever, but some people have their loyalties even when they have it on their platform already. But anyways, Epic Games, they do give us some free stuff. We always like the free stuff, and right now until February 27th, the games that they have, two games. One of them is called Garden Story. And go check that out if you're interested in anything gardening, I think. And then World War Z Aftermath, which is, you know, your zombie shooter where they have these hordes of zombies that climb on each other and create this like big like pile up that allows them to reach higher heights, which was the gimmick for their movie, when they had the movie. And so that's available right now. And then from February 27th to March 6th, I believe the game was called Mages of did I write this down right? Mistralia? Am I saying that right? I butchered that crazy. Mistralia. I think I said that right. I don't know. Mages Mistralia. Mages of Mistralia. It's free. That's it. Go get it. And I'm pretty sure once you load it up, somebody might say it in the game at least once. But Mistralia, it sounds weird. I've never heard anybody say it like that. But anyways, that's available from February 27th to March 6th. And I did also want to mention, because I might actually, even though I trashed this series a little bit myself, I might end up buying this game, because I know when we were speaking on the PlayStation Showcase, at one point we mentioned that Sonic was mentioning that they had a brand new racing game that they were going to come out with, and I made mention.
You immediately like,
and
I was like, this is like, some people love this game, man.
I immediately kind of like criticized, because I kind of feel like they don't need to have a game coming out every year, because honestly, if you pull each and every one of these Sonic fans, how many of them are actually keeping up with it? I don't believe everybody's sitting there playing each year. I'm pretty sure everybody's about 6 behind at this point. But anyways, the game that I said looked practically identical was Team Sonic Racing. That was the Sonic racing game that came out in 2019. So I got an alert because I had wishlisted the game. It is right now on sale on Steam for $9.99. So if you are one of those people who is really itching to play a Sonic racing game, this should tie you over. I mean, $9.99, you can't really beat it. You can go play a different Sonic game. I think they haven't really introduced new characters for Sonic in a long time, and they kind of quietly got rid of the ones that people hated, like that white one that has psychic powers or whatever. I forgot his name, but they got rid of him. But yeah, go and get this game. I might end up getting it just because it's $10. I don't think I'm gonna play it right away because I'm still kind of in the Hot Wheels game right now, 1 and 2. But for anybody out there, I did see this sale, so definitely go check that out. Was there any sales that you may have seen, Amazon or anything like that? Anything you want to look?
Amazon's still releasing their like games this month, but they haven't like summed up everything yet. So we'll find out next week what the like, final set is.
I believe at one point, Xbox. Say it again. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, Silver that John. They didn't get rid of him. The unfortunate issue is just a lot of the games where he's like the lead were just not good. But he's not like gone.
Oh, they've been more quiet on him though, and some of them henchmen too. Like remember, it was like an alligator, and like Big the cat. I remember him, and then like a.
Definitely
Yeah, I could definitely see them all being in a racing game because you gotta have like bodies basically. But I just haven't seen them promote the other guys. But anyways, if you're a Sonic fan on that level where you really are keeping up with every game, I'm pretty sure you like all these characters. So um but yeah, the only other thing I was gonna say is at some point last year, Xbox came out with this controller that I believe was called the Sky Cipher controller, where it was a special edition, like translucent blue controller. And I had got that controller and I really like it. Well, they've recently come out with the red version, and I don't know the official name of it, but I do think I'm gonna cave and get it at some point. Where it's translucent red. I really like those translucent controllers. When I see it, I think of like old school N64 Nintendo. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the red one from them at some point. Probably maybe next week or something. I'll order it because I did see it go on sale where it wasn't like 70 plus, it was like 60 or something. I was like, I might just snag it. But that's the only other thing I just want to mention as far as sales. And then we can get back on track. Tell me about your other topic real quick.
Yeah, so we were talking about crossovers, a little more
Yeah.
wallet-friendly crossover, to a degree. Final Fantasy is crossing over with Magic the Gathering. Uh, so like the different characters are appearing on Magic the Gathering cards. For
Mm-hmm.
example, one of the legendary creatures, Cloud, X Soldier,
Yeah.
that you can use. It's a little easier for Magic the Gathering to do it than opposed to things like Yu-Gi-Oh. I bring it up because they'll also be in the like Magic the Arena, I believe, game. Um, but it's usually easier because a lot of times they can just like it's like special art cards, but they can reuse the same abilities that other cards do, and just make it this person, right? Like if they don't have to come up with something completely original for it to do. So it's a little bit easier to do crossovers for that because it's just artwork. But yeah,
Yeah, so they just got new cards or whatever.
yep. So new card versions, they're all designed like the different Final Fantasy characters. Um, and yeah. So
You
those
gonna
are
buy
out
them? You gonna buy them or you gonna print them out? Or I'm
now.
playing. I'm
I'm
playing.
doing the print out thing that you do.
Yeah. Like, go print
Uh,
them out, y'all.
I'll check them out in the game, but I don't know if I'm gonna buy them since I haven't really dove into Final Fantasy, so it makes no sense.
Final Fantasy. You know what's funny is maybe I think for myself I'm starting to make it slightly overwhelming where I'm trying to start too many series at the same time. I have my
Okay.
starting three, but even outside of that, like the Final Fantasy series was one of them. Outside of the main ones that I chose, and I think Metal Gear was another one. And it's like, well, you gotta just slow down for a second, because even with the smaller series like Hollow Knight has a second game coming out. I've started Hollow Knight. Guacamelee, I've started that. I want to finish that and go to the second one. And then there's like all of these like retro systems and retro games, right? And so it's like we got to do one at a time. Technically, the main game that I'm choosing right now is going to be the original Ninja Gaiden from Xbox One, the original Xbox from way back in the day. To play through that like ridiculously difficult game and get so I can get to the second one that's on Game Pass. But that's a series technically that I kind of just shoehorned out of nowhere just because of Game Pass and the games that like the second and the fourth one is going to be on there, and I own the first and the third, and technically the second one, the older one. And so he's just starting too many games at one time. It's just like, yeah, let's simplify it. Like when I focus on one, it's like that thing is done, and then I just go to the next one. But when it's just like, okay, I got like five in rotation, it's like, all right, well, it's just a hot mess at this point.
And that's why I've
But
been trying to focus up. So I think after Uncharted, because my PS Plus is expiring ish in like
mhm.
April, and I don't know if I'm gonna renew it in April. I might wait till the summer. when I have more time to actually like do stuff.
Hmm.
This way I can renew it. But summer wise, I'm gonna play High on Life since I was just giving away and like that's a short game. Uh, then I might hop on just PC instead. Uh, we'll see. But if not, then I'm gonna play Prototype. Go back to old school. I'm trying to, or I want to play this other game called Murdered Soul Suspect. It's an old PS4 game that I'll be able to report back on, but I just want to play some older stuff.
I don't know if it's considered old school, but we were playing Left 4 Dead, the first game.
I think that's considered old school.
That's considered old school. It does, interesting enough, have a healthy online community.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting because when we were playing, what I noticed is basically we weren't really playing the game the way it was intended and didn't realize it until like what halfway through it, because we were playing like some custom stuff that was in there, done by the community, which made it harder. And I didn't know we did. I didn't,
So they were like extra strong.
because I was unaware that like that was happening at the beginning. I thought we were just, that's how it was. I thought that's just, the difficulty in itself, because we were just getting more tanks and stuff. And then at one point they were just spamming the hunters, which are like the zombies that like to jump and leap on you.
And then you need somebody else to like rerun shoot it off.
Yeah, if you don't have somebody, there's literally no way to get them off. And I don't know if that was the servers thing or if that's how it was in the actual game, because we were playing it that way this entire time.
So that was the server.
That's just the server.
All of a sudden there was like one hunter in the area, and they weren't like super spawning. And then the tanks are normal colored and not just coming out like green tank with like extra health. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make him like the Hulk,
Yep.
because it was just really hard to get him to come down. Because once we fixed it, all of a sudden the game was like pretty much just getting through it. And then at some point we even had like extra people jump in our game, and it was just like we were just like beaming through the game when that happened at one point, until they started trying to do their own thing. It was just like, all right. But I just wanted to mention that real quick. We could probably wrap this up, because the only other thing that I had, did you have any other thing before I do my last part?
So I will say real quick from Uncharted, 'cause I mentioned I beat it and it was a fun series. Um, for anybody that might be trying to jump into it, I think what I like about the series a lot is the fact that like you're kind of doing the same stuff, right? It's puzzle solving, climb a bunch of stuff, shoot the enemies like over and over. But the story around it and the set pieces just constantly makes it feel different, which is nice. The only other complaint that I have for the game is for a game that's supposed to be a cover shooter, they do not want you sitting there undercover. So it's supposed to be fast paced, like constant moving, constant action.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in the game towards like the end of the fourth one. All I had was a sniper with 3 bullets in it, and then my pistol. And there was a bunch of enemies and like all running around and stuff and all moving around. So there was about 8 enemies in there, and again I only had like the 3 sniper bullets. But as you start shooting them, another 6 enemies along with like 2 tanks, like enemies, come out and they're all trying to flank you. All of the extra guns were by the enemies. So it's like I can't get over there and there's barely any cover. And if you stay behind cover too long, they start spamming you with grenades. At like any point in the game. So it's just I'm trying to like shoot, and again it's like a sniper, so I have to aim, and then like I'm getting shot up, and then if I stayed behind that cover too long, they're throwing a bunch of grenades. So now I'm trying to run from the explosions, but I gotta run out from cover, so I'm just getting shot up. And it's like I'll take out a few and then die, and then it will respawn, and like the few that I took out will be gone, but then everyone starts coming back in again. So
I mean,
like
it kind of makes sense if you were in one spot and they know you're there, they would throw a grenade at you. Because I feel like I would.
But they spam it. So like they throw a grenade, and then I like get out of the way, hide, and then another grenade falls, and then a third grenade falls, and it's just like there's nothing you can do. Or they'll bring out a dude with a grenade launcher, and he'll just start shooting it. like in your area like repeatedly. So yeah, it is what the, like it makes sense in terms of what the enemies would do, but at the same time it was like, bro, slow down. Like I'm just let me get my bearings. Like let me figure out what's going on. Yeah, they wouldn't have it.
I would say for anybody that is gonna play, keep your eyes peeled between those games and The Last of Us, because I remember seeing a side by side where some of the background areas was being used again, where like in Uncharted it's alive and well, where it's like an abandoned wasteland in Last of Us, which makes sense, but it was like the same places. Like for example, there was a bar that you would go to, or it was inside of one of the Uncharted games, and then that same bar was in Last of Us, is like really run down and beat up, but you could tell it was the same place. I don't know if that meant that they were in the same universe at all, but maybe it was just like an Easter egg thing for anybody who paid attention. I thought it was pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah. The last thing that I really had was just to go over the February releases, and funny enough, is not really that many, but I thought that that was really interesting because February is usually just like October. Now, October, this past October, was very jam packed, and I think it was because a lot of people was trying to get their game in before the Game Awards and before the holiday season for certain sales. But this February is not packed like before. Like the last few years, we would have games, a lot of games releasing in February, and those are usually the games that carry us through majority of the summer. But we don't really have that many this year. But I did want to go over the couple games that I did pick up, or not pick up, but I did make reference to on my little notes here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, very popular right now with the community. This came out February 4th. And then this was not really as relevant, but I did see a lot of people have review copies of this, but it was Big Helmet Heroes that I spoke on, I think last week or the week before, that came out on February 6th. And then the big game for Xbox, which was Avowed, that just came out February 18th, a few days ago. But that was really it. That was really it. It's not like it's like 6 or 7 really big games. And I'm like, is the industry drying out? Did they burn out a little bit? Is that it? What do you think? You think that's it?
I honestly, like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more coming out later this year. It feels like everybody's like gonna release later this year and then accidentally release all around GTA.
I think probably people are trying not to release because of GTA. Like if I wouldn't be surprised that if we get an announcement that GTA 6 is going to be releasing in 2026, that all of a sudden everybody would want to rush their game. Either way, I think GTA is really going to disrupt a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see, when I was looking at my calendar, there wasn't a big group of releases for June, July, or August either. It's like only a couple games here and there, but nothing is really stacked against each other. Like it's just not like that this year. So maybe we're just holding out. If I think it might be a good thing for a couple games to have polish, you know. And at the end of the day, just like what I was saying before, if you start too many games, you're not gonna really get that much progress. And maybe it'll allow everybody to catch up, you know. Because I'm pretty sure, if you're like me, you probably bought way more games during Black Friday than what you're actually planned to play within the first few months after Black Friday. But yeah, it's a dry year.
I also think if people release now, other people are gonna wait till Black Friday. And they'd rather
Hmm.
release around Black Friday so they don't have to put it on sale.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like a lot of these CEO, like they really take stock in the whole game awards or like things like that, where it's like they want the extra recognition for
Hmm.
their game. So I feel like if they don't think they have a game that's strong enough to hold everyone's attention all year, they're gonna wait till closer to the award times so their game gets mentioned more.
Yeah, probably so.
Right, I think they're trying to go for fall releases because then everybody's mentioning their game right before Christmas, so then more people are willing to try it, maybe, as opposed to like February and then they know it's not the best game and then people forget about it. Or maybe the industry just ain't ready. Maybe they're just not ready and they're tired of maybe they're tired of releasing broken games.
I would hope so, but I don't know if that's the case. Hopefully, if that really is the case, that's actually a good thing. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. But for everybody else, you can definitely catch up on your backlogs and all the other titles. I mean, we still have like a Avowed is technically a bigger release. I keep mentioning Ninja Gaiden, the second game, on Game Pass. That's still technically a bigger release. And so go play that and go hit the backlog. What's up?
On the topic of Avowed, I haven't played it yet. I did see some reviews for it. Overall, I'm seeing that people are pretty much saying it's like a mediocre, like the middle game, which sometimes
It
it's
looked
okay.
like Dragon Age to me, to be honest with you. It
Yeah,
looked like the last Dragon Age.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I heard it plays a little more like Skyrim or Outer Worlds, like mixed
yeah,
together.
a lot of people prefer to play it in first person. You do have the option to go third. I think I would probably choose third over first because
Yeah,
I'm not really a diehard Elder Scrolls fan. But a lot of people are approaching it as if it was like Elder Scrolls, and they're going with first person, from what I was hearing.
yeah. I will say if you're looking at other people's reviews online, just as I talked about it with you earlier, just be careful who you look at. Like, look for people who actually play the game and they're not just trying to jump on one side of the bandwagon or the other, or clearly
hmm
just trying to get views. I look for somebody who actually wants to talk about the game.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people too, though, this one is probably a game that they're just gonna play because they may have Game Pass. I don't know. Maybe there
You
are
think
still
they're
some people out there that are really just trying to buy it outright, but this is it is day one in Game Pass, so I think a lot of people will still play it straight up if they're really interested, just because they have access to it.
yeah.
But I think we could probably close it out, man. We did a cool 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and or going on 55 minutes. Anything else you want to say real quick?
No.
All right, man. We squeezed out an episode. I was about to say let's not even do it real quick, but we squeezed one out. My co-host kept me consistent because I was really having a lazy day. I had all day to play something and did not play a thing. Not even my visual novel games, man. Didn't even play a thing. No handhelds, no nothing. But I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better by next week, I promise. So like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.